Hey guys, and welcome to How to Use Ableton Easily. My goal in this video is to help you learn Ableton fast so you can start creating some tracks. I remember when I used Ableton for the first time, it kind of looked like alien language to me because all the different parameters, it looked kind of intimidating. It took me some time to get used to because of all the different things, but once I did, it was so easy to create tracks and really fast. This video will be more of a general way of how to use Ableton, but don't worry, in other videos I'll go in more depth. So please like, subscribe, share so I can make some more videos for you guys so you guys can create some more tracks. Alright, let's get into it. Alright guys, here we're at Ableton. So here are the different parameters. We got audio track, we got a MIDI track, we have the play button, stop, record, we have tempo right here, BPM, we have a metronome here, some sends like reverb, delay. This is the session views right here. This is the arrangement view. Yeah, okay. So those are just some of the parameters. Now I'm going to go how we should start. So first you want to go into live preferences. And then let's go to look and feel. So here you can change the different ways you want it to look. And I have some more different skins because I got some, you can get them on this website, and I'll tell you guys about that later. But let's just go to the regular one, and you can go lighter or darker. Let's go to 92 where I had it. And then let's go to audio. Core audio is what the driver using, and it's usually from the computer. Audio input device, that's where you're going to record into. So if you're plugging into a interface, audio interface, like me, I have the Scarlett, and that's how I'm able to use a microphone. So you check this, your interface, or you can use built-in microphone, and with that you can record, guitars from the interface or pianos and things like that. And now we have the audio output device. That's what comes out, like the audio that comes out of your speakers, or and which speakers, like built-in output. That's what's coming out of your computer speakers. And usually I use the Scarlett because that's what I'm using my audio interface, and that connects to my monitors, and that's what I can hear. But it says Telestream because I'm using something called ScreenFlow, a different software that helps me record this. In and out sample rate, it's at 48,000. The reason why is because usually with audio and video you want a higher sample rate, but for music and CDs or Spotify or all that, it's at 41,000. So if you're not using this for video and audio, then just 41,000 is good. Buffer size, usually you want this at 256, and this is when you're recording, so you don't have latency, and latency is in the delay in audio. So if you had it at 256, that's good when you're playing a piano or you're talking on the microphone, because when you hear it back in the headphones, you'll hear it at the same time that you're talking. But say you have it higher, over here, there's going to be more of a delay. And when you have that more of a delay, you're going to be talking and then you're going to hear a bit later, and it's going to be very awkward. So you don't want that. Or if you're playing your guitar, you'll be playing notes, and you're going to be hearing it later, and you don't want that. So you only have it higher when you're done recording and you're playing back everything, and now you're mixing everything. Then you want it higher because that's going to put less. That's going to use less processing on your computer, and you'll be able to use more plugins and things like that, more effects, and your CPU won't go crazy. All right, next, we're really not going to use this. We really don't have to go into this right now. Now we have record. File type, usually WAV because PC and Mac do that. Bit depth, 24 because that's a really good high quality sounding audio that will be coming out when you export it. Warp and fades, I would take this off because when you warp something, that means you're going to put it into this program, and it's going to change depending on the tempo that you have. So you just want the original for right now. and then you can put warp later inside. And fades is when you create a little fade on the side of the clips, and so you don't hear like clicks and all that type of stuff. But I just do that manually when I need it, so I don't have these on. And yeah, that's about it right now. Let's exit out of that. Okay, cool. So now you see we have both of these tracks. One is the audio track, and this is where you add samples that have drums or synth sounds. And the other is a MIDI track, which stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. It's used to connect devices like your synthesizers, like Serum or samplers, or other, you can use pianos like that are built in here. And you can make more by double clicking or right clicking. So another MIDI track or another audio track. Or if you can see Command T or Command Shift T for another MIDI track, return track. These are these tracks right here. So if you send this audio signal over here, you'll be affecting this, and I'll show you that all right now. So let's show you how this works now with these audio tracks. I'm going to put these audio tracks here. And let's go into the arrangement view. So you just go here, click this arrangement view. And I'm going to put this at 120 right now. I'll put it back at 128, but when you guys open it, it's usually defaulted at 120. So I'm going to open here. Let's go over this really quick. Favorites. These seem to be the favorites that I use, plugins that I use, but I don't really use that. Sounds, where when you click on it, this is going to be MIDI, like pianos or stuff like that, and I'll show you that right now a little bit later. Now we have drums, so same thing. These are like kits that you can use, and I just clicked on it and I stopped it by pressing the spacebar. Instruments, same thing, like simplers or samplers. That's where you use this on the MIDI. Audio effects, these are like the EQs and compressors. MIDI effects, these are effects that you can put on your MIDI. Like if you're playing a piano, you can use this to put the pitch down or create chords or arpeggiators. Max for Live I really don't use. Plugins, the different plugins that you have here, third-party plugins, so third-party effects that you can use, or synthesizers and things like that, like Serum or Silent. Clips, I really don't even use this. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go through that. Samples, like different audio samples. And you just have to click on it. Again, make sure this headphone button is off, because if you click, you don't hear anything. So it previews it when you have that on. Alright, so now we're gonna go into this where it says places right here. These are where I have samples. I love Cymatics because they have amazing samples. So what are we gonna do is I'm gonna teach you how to put these here, because these samples are somewhere on my computer. So you go add folder, and then you can go wherever you guys want, but I go to desktop, and then I'll choose Ableton Project 1 because those are where these samples are for this video. Got it. So now it's right here. I think I already had it there, but that's how you do it. So you see how it's how it says 128. These samples are at 128. You see how I previewed just by clicking on it. So if these samples are at 128, you want the whole project to be at 128, the tempo, because if not, it's going to change here, and I'll show you that really quick. So you grab it, you click on it, you drag it here, and watch when I change it. Oh wow, then it moved. Let's see that again. That's weird, it should move. Oh well, if you see here, this time changes. Ah, it's like warps by itself, not even... Oh, I see what happened. So you see how it's on time right now? That's because I have the warp on there, which now if I have it off, now it'll come off. You see now it's not on the grid, and we want it to be on the grid, right? So to put it on the grid, we go at 128. And now it's right on. You see that? It's right on 9. Now, sometimes this warp, you see how it did it right the first time and I was kind of like surprised? It doesn't usually do that a lot. And I want to make sure, I'm going to go to preview and make sure that's off because I remember I had it off. Let's see. Yeah, it's off. It's weird how it went on. Sometimes Ableton won't get it right, so it won't connect to the grid. That's why I did that. Anyways, we're going to put the bass drop synth on here too. And I remember that this is like kind of the build up and this is a drop. So you see now I'm just dragging it across here. Got it. So I'll show you a little bit. You use this, let's take this off right here. You see the speaker button right here? So this is gonna play. And you see this playhead? That's when you know it's gonna be, it starts playing. So right here is where you see the speaker right underneath these value numbers. So yeah, and if you want to zoom in, you go right here to the magnifying glass, which is right above the numbers, and you just start zooming in. So now I'm gonna go and show you what these little parameters here mean. So this is muting the track. So if I, or turning off the track. So if I, or muting, same thing. If I press it and I play it, you see you can only hear the drums, but if I turn this back on, see that? Now this is to solo it, means it's just you can only hear this at this time. But you see the other one's playing, right? So this just solos it, make sure that that one's only playing. This is to pan it to the left or right. I'm gonna put this is where you can adjust the volume. I'm gonna put it down to -12. Or you can just click it in, -12. So this is a pan it, so to put it on the left speaker or the right speaker. So I'm gonna put it on the left speaker. Sorry, let me solo it so you can only hear that. That's why we solo, so you can only hear one thing at a time. See that? You only hear it on the left side. I can pan it to the right. Cool. We could put that back to 0, which is the center. And I already talked about this. These are the sends. I talked about this on the other page, but I'm going to send this audio signal. So I'm sending this audio to the reverb. It's coming over here. So you're going to see this, so let's say I play this. You see that there's no audio here. You don't see anything green. So when we send this, or by this, with this parameter, we're going to send this audio here. It's going to affect the reverb. I'm going to click on this. See the reverb here? It's going to affect that. You're going to hear the effect. So you can hear that reverb effect. And the next one is the delay, which is right here. You see it here. So it's just the other one over here. I'm going to play it. So you hear that delay. All right. And this little record enabled button, I'll show you exactly what that does later. So we have, you learn how to do that. Next, let's use the MIDI track now. Let's put some MIDI in. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to grab a piano and we're going to use that to put that on the MIDI because that's what MIDI for, is to use some type of device. So I go to sounds and then you can just type in piano or something and it says piano here. They all sound pretty good. So I'm going to go put it here in MIDI. So I just dragged it over here, right? And you see it over here. And now you have to make sure that this keyboard button on and this record enabled. That means that you can start, you'll start to when you play the keyboard, you'll be able to hear it, but I couldn't hear it because I didn't have it soloed. Because when it's solo, you can only hear one thing at a time, right? Let me take these sends down. All right, so grand piano. Watch when I take this off. You see, I'm playing the keyboard and you can't hear anything, but right when I hit it. But again, you have to make sure that this is on because this tells you that the keyboard you're going to be playing. Now, say I want to record something. This has a record enabled button. You have to make sure this is on. So you press this record button, right? And then you can put it wherever you want. I'll put it over here. And then I can press right here, play. And that's how you record some notes. And you can press stop and just press play, or you can use the space bar. Anyways, but I like, yeah, sometimes I'll put it in, but like that. But I like to just create a MIDI track and kind of input it. Some people can play the piano just like that, but I don't know. I just got used to this, I guess. But I can do it as well. Anyway, so we're going to highlight this, right? 4 bars. And then we're going to right click. And let's go to insert MIDI clip. Click here. And now we have this little section over here. Again, you have to click on here. If you go to grand piano and click here, that'll be that grand piano. But you want to click on the MIDI clip, right? And now we have this grid here. So this grid is kind of like this one on here, where you have this magnifying glass and you can scroll up and down and you can zoom in like that. Or you can use a magnifying glass up here and you scroll left to right on this one. The other one's up and down, left to right, and you make the notes bigger and everything like that. So I want the notes bigger. And if you see here this grid, if I input something, now I'm just clicking on there. Watch how it's going to be. And it sounds like that because we're at 16th notes. And if I zoom out, you see how it says 132, 16. And you right click and you see how it says narrow. That like every time you zoom in or zoom out, it'll change. Like say if I have the narrowest, I could zoom in even more, which you really don't need, right? But I'll keep it at, I guess I can keep it at narrow. You can change it if you guys want. But so I'm going to do 1 bar. This is 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beats, 4 beats, 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beats. And I can use the metronome to show you guys that. I'm going to stop it right here and then play. See, those are beats. All right, but I'm not going to use that. So let's do a chord progression, 4 chord progression. So there's just chords. I'm going to do this really quick just to show you how to like input things and stuff like that. And then later on in different videos, I'll show you how to do it, how to do chords. Let's put the A, and then you're going to use this bracket right here to drag it. Oh, also, if this is off, that headphone button, you can't hear any of these notes, even when you input it. So you want to make sure you have that on, because now you can hear those notes. So you press Alt or Option, and then you can drag another one, and then we're going to do the same thing. It's already selected, so Alt Option and drag up. And we're going to do A minor. Now I'm going to select all of them. Same thing, Alt Option, the copy. And then we're going to go C sus4. Now you can't really see what these notes say, right? So I'm going to go to the magnifying glass, put it even higher. Cool. Or higher. Zoom left to right, my bad. Okay, now let's do C major. So that was C sus4, C major. And the last one is going to be E minor. So select, Alt Option, drag, makes a copy of it, right? And E minor. I don't know if I said E major, I don't remember, but I meant E minor. Good. And then we can play it just like up here, right? When you're using that speaker button. So play. Good, so we have that little loop here. And now see the space? I want to duplicate this. So what I can do is press Command D and duplicate it. Or another way is to click and right click and press duplicate. But if you know, just Command D, super easy. And we have that. So now I know we have this MIDI track here, but this will be easier if we just select the ground piano and it's soloed, which is okay. So I'm gonna put Command D to duplicate, or you can press it here, whatever you guys like. And it says ground piano there, right? But I don't want a ground piano, I want something else. So I'm gonna double click on that, take this off. Now we're gonna use Serum, which is a plugin. So we go to plugin, and I don't want to look for it, so I'm just gonna put Serum, drag it in. And now it says Serum there. I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit, but watch when I play it. So let's press stop here, and then you see how the play head's over here. Press play. Good, but I don't want a pad, so I'll go here. Let's go to pads. It was D pad 2, I remember that. Now to get that Serum back, you just go to the wrench. See that? Press it and it comes out. One more time, wrench, press it, it comes back. Okay. So I'm going to stop it. I'm going to unsolo it so I can hear the piano at this time, because it's going to be only the piano and Serum because there's nothing here else, right? So stop, press play. Now, if I really want to mix that a lot easier, I'm going to drag this up, and you see now I have more space. So let's press play, and I'm going to mix it right here with these faders. These are faders. Cool, we got that. Now, I want to add a little bit more to this little build that we have here. And if you want to name this like intro or build, you go up here, right click, add locator. You could put intro here. You could put, I don't know, double click again. You could put build here, add locator, drop. Cool. Now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to use some more samples. Let's go cymatics. I remember I like toolkit. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So let's create some audio tracks. You can put Command T, and you see how it's an audio track. And I'll put that up here. And let's do another one and one more. Ooh, I really don't like that color. Let's right click. You can change the color. Right click, change the color. Right click, change the color. Okay, so we have impact here. I maybe put that at the build, right? Just drag it in. And then Alt Option to duplicate. And you can put there and like drag it. So you click on it, highlight, Alt Option, then you just drag it. Or you can click it, Command D, and just drop and, do that. Drag it. Now I'm going to click on it. I really am not going to get into this really right now, but you see how it has warp. Why does it have warp? Anyways, let's take the warp off. You see how it changed there? Even this one too. Warp off. Because I told you it changes the sample, and we don't want that right now. So from here, we're going to reverse it. Cool. And then I'll just drag it to the end here. Cool, cool. And let's hear that sounds solo. Cool. And then what do I want? Like a riser, that sounds cool. That's cool. Let's drag that in. Now remember I talked about fades where it's at the end and those are for clicks. So if I play it, you really won't hear anything. But the volume ramps up because there's not really volume here. If you look at that wave, barely hear anything. And you see on the right how it starts going up. So that's in the fade in the music or audio. So we have that. And then one more thing was maybe a build. See that warp is on. Let's take that off. Alright, so I'm liking this build drum here. We'll put it right here. Maybe lower the volume. I haven't lowered the volume, but see if I need anything for this. I think that's good for right now. I could put maybe like an uplifter here. Uplifter. And I can choose no. Uplift. Alright, let's use that. Command T. I could put that right there. Of course, the warp's on. Let's make sure it's at the right area. Alright, so let's play it. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to play it. I'm going to hear it from the beginning. And I'm going to start mixing. And I want to hear from the other area, from the session view. Let's play. I'm gonna put this bass drop just a little bit lower. And now I can select this, press shift, and then select the front, and you see how it selects everything. I can put the volume higher like that. But I want to go to the drop. I press drop. Let's see how that sounds from that area. That's cool, but I'm going to put utility to make the volume even a little bit louder. Sorry, I have to hit the master track. This is the audio effect. I press utility. Maybe I don't press utility so I can show you more. I just get it here, drag it on here. And in my other video, the first video that I made, I showed you kind of how to use this utility as well, and more about gain staging, which is very important that you guys learn, so please look at that video. So Good, let's play it from the beginning. Alright guys, hope you guys liked this video. I'm going to make some more videos on Ableton to go even deeper inside, so please like, subscribe, and share. And look at the other video that I just made, because that'll help you with gain staging on make sure all these audio clips sound great. And I'll see you guys in the next video.